Today in the pedal vault, the Engl Fireball IR. Before we start, a little disclaimer here. This could be called technically a sponsored video because I got a discount on this pedal. However, each and every word is my own and Engl has no saying in what I'm about to say. Engl is a German company famously known for their awesome amplifiers. They have designed some really classic amps like the Engl Powerball, the Engl Savage or the Engl Special Edition. But they also have some signature models, for example for Victor Smolsky, for Mille from Creator or for Steve Morse. They also have a nice unit called the Engl Cap Loader, which is an IR/power amp emulation. And now they have this pedal, the Engl Fireball IR. I assume it's based on their Fireball amps, but it comes with lots of cool features. So let's have a look. We have a 3-band EQ, we have an additional presence control, and volume and gain control. Then we have a noise gate that's built into the pedal, and we also have 3 IRs that are built into the pedal. We also have an USB jack where you can load on your own IRs if you prefer it this way. Then we have 2 buttons. With one button you can disengage or engage the IR on the output jack. So for instance, if you want to play into an amp, you will obviously disengage it. But if you're playing directly into an interface, well, obviously you would activate it. The right knob is for the boost, and when we activate the boost, the right foot switch toggles the boost on and off. And when we deactivate the boost, the right foot switch will bypass the pedal. The left foot switch lets us select between the 2 channels. We have the blue channel, which is a clean channel, and then we have the red channel, which is the distorted channel. There are 2 more cool features. One of them is a headphone jack, so you could actually use this as your practice rig, which is really cool. The other one is that the position that you have your knobs in when you switch channels will be stored. So for instance, you dial in treble full, middle 0, bass full for whatever reason in the distorted channel, and then you switch over to the blue channel. You can dial the knobs in however you want, and when, for instance, just everything at noon, and when you switch back to the red channel, the EQ setting is still set to bass full, treble full, and mids on 0. So you really have 2 independent EQ sections. So let's start with everything deactivated that can be activated, and the green channel and the knobs on in. Okay, we have a nice gap at 700 Hertz or 600 Hertz, nice bump at 200, and a huge bump at around 10 to 12K. So gain adds volume, but after the middle, it kind of adds compression. Cool. Let's leave it here. Treble. Seems to be centered around 2K. Also very broad, affecting the 1K realms as well. Mids are at 600 to 500 Hertz. And bass is actually at 150, 160, depends. Okay, so really effective EQ. Now we do have presence. And a nice bump at 5K. And a nice gap. So let's actually switch to the red channel and see where there are differences. everything is smoother. The knobs, however, should target the same frequencies. Yes, they do. Now we can activate the mid boost, and we have to activate it now with the bypass switch. Okay. What we also can activate is the cap emulation. Let's actually bring up the volume a bit so we can see. This is IR1, IR2, and IR3. For the playthrough, I opted to do a live playthrough. This means I have my guitar here and I will adjust my playing to the sound that I'm hearing. This might be not the most pleasant way to hear when I dial in knobs, but I can adapt my playing to the sound that I'm hearing. So I want to do it this way. The signal chain is dead simple. My unit CTO7 into the pedal. That's it. We start with the clean channel and the first IR. So here is the sound. Everything is on the bridge pickup. Well, anyhow, let's switch to the distorted channel. So I'm really impressed with this pedal. I actually don't know where to start. First of all, the practicability is awesome. You can use this as your whole rig if you want. You have two separate outputs. Via an adapter, you can use the headphone output to deliver the signal to your any monitoring rig or through the front of house, and you have the output that you can run it into a power amp and into an actual cab on stage if you want. What I also really like is that we have two fully independent EQ sections, so you can really dial in the sound that you want. It's also a nice feature that we have the mid boost engaged to a knob, so we can basically have three different sounds. We can have a clean sound, we can have a rhythm tone, and with the boost engaged, we can have a lead sound. The noise gate is also really cool to have, so you can spare some space on your pedal board. And most important, how's the sound? Well, I think it sounds fantastic. The distorted channel really gives me this typical Engl vibe that I like, because I own several Engl amps, to be honest. And this one is right there in the ballpark. Sounds really cool. It doesn't have as much gain as an Engl amp has, especially when you activate the boost function on your amp, but it has plenty of gain to play rhythm and lead what you want. And if you prefer more gain, well, you can always put an overdrive in front of it. The IR section is cool to have, and the first IR is my most favorite one. I highly prefer it over the second and the third one. And that's cool because I can use a stock IR and get a decent sound or an awesome sound. But well, I can always load my own IRs into slots 2 and 3, and then I have 3 different sounds that I can toggle. But to be honest, why would you toggle an IR in a live situation? I don't know. So at the end of the day, I only need one good sounding IR, and that's the case. So there's really nothing more to say. I think this is a perfect pedal for every situation, especially as an emergency rig, but it can totally work as your main guitar rig or your practice rig or whatever. I just think this is one of the best and most versatile pedals that I've had on this channel, especially for the price point. What do you think about the Fireball IR? Do you own one? Have you compared it to the actual amp? Let me know down in the comment section. And if you want to support this channel, you might want to consider becoming a YouTube member, or you want to check out the links in the description below. Well, with this being said, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. May the power protect you, and have a nice day.